And we're back. We are back. We are live once again. There is more Rebel Scum Con to talk about, even though it's only about a week away at this point. I mean, it's definitely a week away for those of us who are going to be setting up on Thursday, getting ready for doors to be open on Friday. But we can talk about that later. What we're here to talk about tonight, I am joined by Will Craig of the Line Force Star Wars fan group, and they have an awesome swag event they are hosting Saturday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Will, tell us a little bit about your swag trade event and what can fans expect from a swag trade event?
With swag, it, of course, is usually the free stuff you get at cons or wherever you go. It's not the merchandise. That's what you pay for, right? So this is the free swag. Could be buttons, could be stickers, could be patches, could be coins, poker chips, all those kind of things. And at the swag trade, we will have a lot of those things. Myself, I'll be bringing two large totes with me of stuff to give out to people who do not have swag. Um, we always run into those types of people, and I want to make sure everybody has something. And there's a lot of puzzle pieces in there. Get you started down the dark path, as I like to call it, and rules your destiny. But but there's a little bit of everything there. We will have a very specific patch uh, for that particular show, and it goes with a puzzle patch that I think we're going to look at later. And it will be the only time that you can get that patch at the Rebel Scum Con thing. But it will be that Saturday night from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock. We didn't want to go too late. We know there's the Dave and Buster's thing after there, but I know some of us want to get in there and do that. But come one, come all, bring anything and everything you have and meet new friends. It's where I met Josh last year, actually, and we started talking swag, and which has led us to this conversation.
That is no surprise at all. Josh is one of the team members who relentlessly tracks down and collects all kinds of Star Wars fan swag no matter what event we're going to. That's one of his favorite con experiences specifically, and why there's so much swag, including you guys coming out happening at year 2 of Rebel Scum Con, and why we're also so excited that so many fans wanted to be involved in bringing out swag, doing swag trading, and the Line Force fan club has been a big, um, awesome. What's the word? Um, Organization to facilitate those kind of events for quite some time now. You guys came out last year with some really awesome swag, also that
Yes,
that
yes, we
I
did.
really love in particular. And I'm really excited because I've gotten to see ahead of time the swag that you guys are bringing out. So I'm really excited in particular about what you guys have in store for the fans because I know it's really awesome already. So tell us a little bit about the Line Force fan club and yourself as a Star Wars fan. Where did you fall in love with Star Wars and want to get more involved with the fans around you at at least at this capacity? And how did Line Force come out of that?
Well, of course, I wasn't old enough to be there for A New Hope when it first came out, but I was just barely old enough to be there for The Empire Strikes Back. My father was actually a Star Trek fan, not a Star Wars fan, and so I grew up with sci-fi. But we got the old VHS tapes, and I used to go into the bedroom and watch it all the time when they were watching what they were watching in the living room. And he got me. He recorded off TV. There was a special. It's the saga behind the saga, the making of Star Wars through Jedi, and it had a lot to do with the creature shop for Return of the Jedi and everything. And I would just watch that over and over again, and I became so uh, engrossed in it that I just it became life. And for a long time, I was studying to actually do movie makeup and prosthetics. I worked at a whole lot of haunted houses here
That's
locally. Um, But unfortunately, when it came time to graduate high school and move on to the a different type of like trade school for that kind of thing, um, I was not in the best financial state, so I couldn't really do it. So I had to put that on the back burner. But when I was in high school, they started coming out, as you know, the 1995 figures on the orange cards and
Yep.
everything, and I would get those, and remembering, still being kind of young in high school, I was opening them, playing with them, all that kind of stuff. And at one point, my senior year, I just thought to myself, I was like, I'm getting a little old to play with them right now. Why don't I just start collecting? And I started collecting. Um, and I kind of wish it was lit up right now and I had the ability to show you the room. I'm actually in the collection room. I'm sure you can see the autographs on the wall behind me.
I can.
But
They look incredible too.
and that's only about a third of them.
I see
Um,
some really cool pictures there. I see an
I've
Ian. I see
oh yeah,
looks like, is that gold leader or is that red?
yes, actually, there's Hobby, and then right next to him is Gold Leader. They actually had the same helmet um, in the two different movies.
Nice.
Um, and then last year at Rebel Scum Con, I was able to pick up this little beauty and have some signatures added to it. I don't know if I can get the glare off of there. There we go.
All three
Um,
suit Mandos.
right, added on to. I already had Gina's on there, and oh,
That's awesome.
if I ever left my wife right there, I'll tell you what, boys. Anyway, um, anyway, I got big into it, and I was following in the Star Wars Insider that they were doing these cons, celebrations,
Mm.
1999 and whatnot. And didn't have the money to go, and it wasn't until Celebration 3 in Indianapolis that I could actually make it happen. So I went out on my own. I had I'd been out of the state before. I'm in Texas, in case we did not establish that earlier, and I was kind of like a fat kid in a candy store, and I'm a fat kid, so I can say that. Um, it was just, oh, look over here, that's great, and I was meeting new people. I met one guy that was staying at my hotel, and we became friends. We hit it off, so that whole community coming together thing was happening. But I didn't know about the patches yet. Um, Fast forward to Celebration 5 in Orlando, 2010. I met up with a couple of people in line because I was one of those nutballs that gets up at midnight, goes and gets in line, and I'm first in line. And we kept meeting that way without organizing it. And it was like, hey, this is kind of cool. Got to know them real well. And uh, one of them, my friend Todd, who lives in Michigan, he said, "Hey, they're doing these patches giveaways at the different collectors tables. Come with me. Let's go look at it." I was like, "Okay,
Yeah,
whatever."
why not?
And it's the 5 piece pentagon of Boba Fett from that one. And so you'd have to go around and get the different pieces, play games, answer trivia questions, stuff like that. Now I said, that's really cool. And so that took over my entire time at Celebration for the rest of the time I was there. I never left the exhibit hall after that. And so when Celebration 6 came around, we met up again and there were more. Um, the 501st had this big 23-piece Death Star patch set you could do. The Collectors Clubs had this little 6 piece thing with the Clone Wars, like a movie poster. There was the Millennium Falcon. There was this other Death Star, and it's
Nice.
like, ooh, piece of candy, ooh, piece of candy. And it just became our life at Celebration doing that. And then, of course, afterwards, getting online, doing trades and whatnot. Um, and that was 2012. Well, in 2013, unfortunately, I had a personal thing happen in my life. My mother passed away,
Sorry to hear that.
and thank you. It changed my life to this day. Um, and I went through deep depression, and I kind of went on a walkabout. And I went to go visit my godfather in Tennessee and spend some time with him. And he trying to coach me out of it. He said, "Well, what would your mother tell you?" I was like, "Well, mom always supported me in what I wanted to do, and I kind of want to come over here and be out with my friends all the time at these things, and I want to do these patch collecting things." And we didn't really belong to any other clubs. So I said, I'm going to make my own club. And so I put it together. And by the time uh, Celebration Anaheim 2015 came around, I had the club, I had all the stuff for a booth, I had a patch worked out as a puzzle patch. And I applied with Lucasfilm, and they said, "Sure, have a fan table." And I said, "Okay, here we go." And we started doing it, and ours was one of the most popular puzzle patches they had that year. Um, Partly because it was only one of two that actually had any art or footage from uh, The Force Awakens, because everything was so hush hush.
Yeah.
And I had gotten into the tops cards that somebody leaked in a commercial somewhere, and I had taken images from that and was able to kind of do some artwork that resembled it, and so it was really popular. Since then, it has only grown. In 2017 in Celebration Orlando, I was being asked by some of my 501st friends to start designing patches for them. I had my hand in almost every puzzle patch that went out that year from any club. Uh, a good friend of mine, Ken, who's very big into the Star Wars patch, like he said to me one time, he's like, "Is there anything you're not in?" And I was like, "Well, I think there's one over there somewhere, but we'll fix that for next year." And but anyway, it's gotten bigger, and we've had a booth at every celebration since Anaheim 2015, um, stateside. For our overseas celebrations, we've partnered with a Star Wars club from Norwich, England. My good buddy David, who runs that over there, and they've had representation for us, helping us out, and they've come in and sponsored a lot of our stuff, and they're very much big into uh, patches as well, and we do a lot of stuff with them. And I said, well, we need to start doing something other than just these patches. And I said, well, let's do these challenge coins for a little bit. We'll sell them, and we'll raise money for a charity. And we chose, one of my guys chose Wounded Warrior, right? Everybody knows Wounded Warrior.
Mhm.
And so we've raised to date about $3,000 for them, just selling challenge coins, which match our club patches. Um, and in fact, I'm about to write them a check here within the next week.
Nice.
And we are going to switch gears, though, and we are going to change charities for the next couple of runs, because I finally found a new place to do coins. And we're going to do wheelchairs for warriors, which is actually out of the Houston area. Um, my wife is a veteran and has to deal with the VA all the time, and um, they don't always get what they need. So this charity helps with that. So we're gonna start doing that. But um, we're spread out. I've got members all over the globe. It's really hard to have meetings that way, uh, as as everything has happened since the pandemic with things like this and streaming. We're trying to put stuff together for that, and we have plans already for Los Angeles in 2027. Already working on those, almost have those ready to go, and we're just having fun. And the great thing with us, one of the biggest compliments we get from people when they come to the booth, and you got to play a game. It's usually, I have a couple of different dice games you play. It's a game of chance, right? And it's free, and it gives you something to do, right? A lot of people, when they walk through the exhibit hall, they got the zombie walk going on, and they're not really paying attention to anything. But we get them over, we get them doing stuff, and I love the kids that get drug along by the parents, right? It's like we're here for the parents. We're not really here for the kids, and the kids are just like, oh my god, Daddy, can we go? And it's like, hey, come here, it's like, roll these dice, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, I won a patch. Wow, that's really great. Now he's happy and excited and goes off and he has a good day. And if they don't win, well, don't worry, Will's got this little toad over here, and you can either get a matching poker chip, or I've got little toys in here. It's like, here, and their eyes just light up. And you know every time I start to get down about the time it takes or anything like that, or doing a lot of stuff, because I do a lot of it myself. I always remember back to those moments with the kids, and seeing the smiles. And I've got people, I told you before the show, we have a local show that's this weekend that I'm setting up for, I have people already messaging me, "Hey, are you going to be there? We got to get our patch this year, and we really enjoy you, and all this stuff." So it really makes us happy to be there. We try, like you guys, to be there for the fans. We're not here to sell stuff and make it the big corporate Star Wars thing. We're here for the little guys, and so we try to do our part.
More importantly, we're here to have a good time. All of
Yes.
us. We're here because we want to be, and because we want to enjoy the time we're spending together, when regardless if that's being spent standing in front of that special Star Wars celeb that you've just been dying to meet, or whether that's meeting that group of friends that you haven't seen in a year or years, to do something as simple as a patch or coin or token exchange of some kind, where it's just one of those awesome important rituals that we get to share in addition to the other convention stuff. I haven't gotten to participate in a ton of swag trades myself. I do have awesome swag that I get when I attend conventions from friends and people that I see all the time. I mentioned earlier that you guys had a really awesome patch last year, and I love that patch. And but I'm also super, super stoked for this year's as well. Now, you mentioned kids coming by the booth and playing the game, or playing a game or activity of some kind to earn patches or other awesome items. You guys are going to be in our community area with lots of other clubs, such as the 501st, Sabak for Charity, and more. So make sure you find the Line Force fan club and go engage with these guys and get that awesome Star Wars swag, because you're going to need something for yourself, for your collection, to put on that awesome vest or jacket, backpack, messenger bag, purse, whatever you carry around with you too, because there is so much you can put an awesome patch on. And these guys usually pick cool and interesting shapes that translate onto other things really well, from at least the ones I've gotten to see in person. So if you haven't checked them out, they're awesome. They're really, really awesome. Now, Will, where I understand they're going to be in separate locations. So where is the swag event itself being handled? It's not at the Line Force Fan Club community table. It's in the gaming lounge, right?
Yes, it will be in the gaming lounge. I got that cleared with the powers that be a little while back, to make sure that that happens. And like I said, it's late in the evening, so most of their stuff will be done. And it usually starts out with a small group, and we'll start around 7, and as it gets a little bit larger, and then we'll cut it off around 9. But if anybody wants to stick around after that, I'll entertain as well as I can. But yes, 7 to 9 in the gaming lounge there at the hotel.
So that's going to be just outside of where the main convention hall area is. For those of you who may not have been to the venue yet, the gaming lounge is going to be on the side where the hotel rooms themselves are, and it's going to be open all day, all weekend long for passive play to learn Star Wars Unlimited, another game called Dice Throne. Maybe you want to play some X-Wing or Legion or something on an available table. That can be going on as well. Or you want to participate in a Star Wars Unlimited tournament throughout the weekend as well. That's going to be happening over there. That's why it's called the Gaming Lounge. But from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., it is going to be exclusively available to the Line Force Fan Club for their Swag After Dark trade meetup, where, once again, bring your patches, bring your coins, bring your poker chips, bring your stickers, anything that is Star Wars swag, pins, swag related that you have, that you've maybe been collecting a few duplicates of. Maybe you like to collect mystery mini pins from different conventions or different Disney parks, for example. Maybe you buy the Star Wars mystery pins that they have there. Bring that stuff and trade your duplicates for some cool original ones or some other cool ones that you might not have. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to walk away with a lot of really cool, incredibly fan-made stuff and more at Rebel Scum Con Year 2. Will, what would you say is going to be one of the other things you're looking forward to most, aside from Swag After Dark as a convention attendee?
Oh, well, today I actually purchased my ticket for my photo op with Emily Swallow in kit. Um,
This is the
as I,
way.
this is the way. And as I am a Mando Mercs official member, I do intend on bringing mine. So you guys will get to see me in that. I am quite imposing, all armored up. Um, so hopefully I'll get to do that. So that is one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to. Some of the other things is there's another swag trade that I believe Star Wars Joshua is doing Saturday afternoon around 2:30, something like that,
2:30
over
or
by the
3.
Tennessee
Yeah.
booth. And both of those swag trainings would be really good for those trooper pins that he's putting out, because we will have one ourselves, the
Yes, you
little
will.
commander pin. But those swag trades would be great when you're trying to get those last few and somebody's maybe has a couple and has one you need, trade them out. Another thing I'm looking forward to is the Bunta Eve. Um, as you said earlier, a lot of our friends coming in from all over the states that I haven't seen in at least a year. I know almost all the guys that were with me last year are coming. Um, I'm still working on the other one, but we're gonna have fun. So it'll be me and TK and all of us over there doing that, and
I was
jamming
about
out
to
with
say
DJ Elliott and all you guys.
TK bet went out. I've got a handful of Lobots set aside for that guy.
Okay. Nobody tell him, hush, but I have a whole box over here I've been stacking up for him again. And just so you guys know, every Friday night when I get a Lobot from y'all, that's where it goes.
I had a feeling after TK told me his Lobot story, I was like, Will always claims the Lobots.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
started as soon as he told me though, like I started like pre-swooping up, like swooping them where I could. That's why we didn't have any in the vintage sale last time, was because
Ah,
Josh was digging through our stock, our vintage back stock. We had a container that had, I think, like 6 or 7 or pretty sure I texted him the number I had for him. But I was like, yeah, those aren't making it in. It's like those have to go to TK now. For those of you who don't know, TK is one of the Line Force fan club members who has officially the largest Lobot collection in the world. It's very impressive. It's very awesome. And as someone who is a fan of a niche Star Wars character of my own, I think it's really cool.
speaking of your niche character, I don't know if you saw the club patch that I had made for Rebel Scum Con. If you saw that one yet, because there's somebody right there.
I'm very excited. And I'm
That's
not just excited because it's one. I'm excited because it's my favorite character model of the
there we
B1.
go.
Because as much as I love how he looks in live action, and I love how he looks in live action, my favorite character model of the B1 Battle Droid is the Clone Wars animation model for the first 6 seasons. I mean, I don't mind the head change in season 7, but yeah, that's like, not only did you pick my favorite guy, but you picked my favorite depiction of it, which I love.
Well, I did my own research on you. And in addition, something I did not send you guys a picture of, and I don't actually have in front of me. So you said you really liked our three-piece puzzle that we had last year.
I did.
Um, I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if I shared it with you before, but we are doing another three-piece. And there might be something on there for you as well.
I Sears 3-piece. I remember. I definitely know you shared me the other one, but I don't remember if you showed me the 3-piece. And I'm very excited for that as well. Do we already have that on hand too? Are we revealing that, or is that a
Um,
surprise for the con?
it's a little bit of a surprise.
Okay.
My buddy Scott, who's sponsoring one of the things, he's handling that whole mess for me as I handle all the other ones. But we will have it then. But you asked nicely. I might send you a picture after the show. So
I can't wait to see it. I'm really excited. And I'm really excited to participate in my first after hours swag trade because, like I said, I personally haven't gotten to do one yet. John tried to run away to one, especially when we would go to celebrations here in the States as well.
Oh yeah.
I know he went to some last time we were in Anaheim and when we were in Chicago. I didn't end up going because I was sick when we were in Chicago the whole weekend. As soon as we landed, a sinus infection like hit me like a truck, and then I was just miserable and out the entire weekend despite celebration, which was fun for my part. Just I was sick through it, and then Anaheim. Anaheim, I forget what we were doing. I think we were just so exhausted from just the booth and filming all day that night I was like, no, I'm crashing.
That'll happen.
But there is going to be not a lot of sleeping happening at Rebel Scum Con.
Oh no.
So go ahead, plan your trip accordingly. Get your tickets now. Rebel Scum Conventions with an S.com to book your Rebel Scum Con experience today. And there are so many fan experiences happening at Rebel Scum Con. And we, the guys who, while we're hosting the event overall, we can't take credit for how incredible some of these awesome events are that are happening at our event. Like this one, for example, Swag After Dark, hosted by Line Force Fan Club. As we are facilitating the space for it, these guys are going to be hosting that event for us, and it's going to be really awesome, where you're going to have the opportunity to walk away with all kinds of cool swag, and I'm being optimistic here, new friends as well. New friends if you hadn't met some of these folks already. It's going to be a super friendly bunch of people, and we're going to have a blast. We are going to have a blast. Saturday, August 9th, is going to be the Swag After Dark from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Be there. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And I think that's going to be it for today, guys. So, Will, thank you today, and thank you so much for showing off the patch. We were dancing around it all episode. I knew, and I'm just like, I can't tell them it's not mine. But I'm glad it's out there. I'm glad we all got to see.
My pleasure.
I like how you went with the Supreme Leader, Kylo. Scout Trooper on the side, because that's Kentucky's favorite. So Josh's favorite is, and Kentucky's favorite was the Scout Trooper. My favorite was the B1 Battle Droid. And that all came together for this year's Line Force Fan Club patch. Will, thank you so much for designing a patch for us. It looks awesome. I can't wait to see what the puzzle patch looks like. You guys will get to see it August 8th through the 10th at the Line Force Fan Club booth all weekend long at Rebel Scum Con Year 2. Don't miss out. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you there. And may the Force be with all of you, you Rebel Scum.